You and I are standing guard in one of the last great open spaces. These people think that if they're tough enough, smart enough, and mean enough, all this will be there someday. There's no army of this earth that's going to stop those wagons coming, little as they're wanted.
Get in there, quick. Quick, come on.
It's all right. I'm gonna be with Dad.
No, no, no.
All I'm trying to do is get as many of us as I can, as far as I can.
I'd just like to have a drink tonight with someone who knows how to act.
You're not taking the full measure of this, Mary. I know the man I met was on his way to kill everyone in that house. He might as well have been walking up to get the mail for all it bothered him.
What you build, they will burn down.
You use that much this year?
Haven't had much need of it yet.
Looks like we got ourselves a bad man right here.
What happened here?
It wasn't accidental. They killed themselves in shifts. And then there's this. Sacrifice is redemption.
The minute someone mentioned sacrifice or redemption, I smell cult. Mazzy. I missed you so much.
What chapter are you on?
It doesn't really work like that. It's interesting. Even you'd find it interesting. I'm trying to break out of the theoretical side of life.
We are desperate for your insight.
Everyone wants reassurance that this is not a missed pattern.
Kids are totally isolated. They're all predators just waiting for them.
Don't talk to strangers.
What's the initial draw?
You should come with my group. We need people like you.
Simple answers to the big questions.
I want you to meet Hilma.
Martin's told me so many great things about you.
Oh, Mercy, we're so happy to welcome you here.
This is a nice surprise.
I came to Berlin to see him. It's always only ever about him.
I see you. I can feel your pain.
Why didn't you wake me up when you went out last night?
You're 16, you're responsible.
You keep telling me to be careful and then you just go out. You've ruined our lives by coming here.
Your mom asked me to leave. Where do you think you're going?
Something wrong?
My dad, he lied to me.
Untangle yourself from your parents. The sooner you stop relying on them, the more powerful you will be. Purify and start again. I see you. I can feel your pain.
Ben, it's Nellie. She didn't come home last night.
I can feel your pain. You're very special. I can feel your pain.
Take a look at this.
Who's that?
I've got a lead!
Purify and start again.
Matt has been kidnapped.
You've no idea how to reconnect with your daughter. Purify
Matty!
and start again.
Where is she?
ఈ భూమి మీద మొదటి నగరం,
ఈ వరల్డ్లో చివరి నగరం కాశీ. పైన నీళ్లుంటాయంట.
భూమిని మొత్తం పీల్చేస్తే అన్నీ అక్కడే ఉంటాయి. ఈ లోకంలో ఉన్నది కాంప్లెక్స్ ఒక్కటే, దేవుడు ఒక్కడే సుప్రీం యాస్కిన్.
నీలాంటోడు ఎంత మందిని రక్షించచ్చో తెలుసా?
నేను రక్షించాల్సిందే ఒక్కడిని.
6000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం కనిపించింది. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఆ పవర్ వచ్చిందంటే ఇక వెలుగు వచ్చే సమయం అయింది.
ప్రాణంలో ఇంకో ప్రాణం.
నువ్విప్పుడు కనపోయేది మామూలు ప్రాణం కాదమ్మా. సృష్టిని నేను కాపాడుతా.
నిన్ని ఎలాగైనా ఆపి తెరాలి.
పొద్దున్నే ఫైట్ అండి బుజ్జి. ఎంత మంచి కళ ఉన్నాను తెలుసా? మనం కాంప్లెక్స్ లో ఉన్నామంట.
1 మిలియన్ యూనిట్స్ ఉన్నాయని దగ్గర
ఏమీ లేవు.
నాలాంటి ఎంతమందికి నువ్వు అక్కడ హీరో తెలుసా? నాతో రా.
యూనిట్స్ ఎక్కువ ఇస్తారా?
అబద్ధం. నీకు జస్ట్ నువ్వంటేనే ఇష్టం భైరవా.
ప్రపంచంలో ఒకటే ఒక సైడ్, నీ సైడ్.
భైరవా 5 స్టార్ బౌంటీ. లెట్స్ గో.
హై
హై.
నాకు ఆ అమ్మాయి కావాలి.
పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే నేను ఒక్కడనే ఆ అమ్మాయిని తీసుకురాగలను.
అంత ష్యూరా?
రికార్డ్స్ చూసుకో, ఇంతవరకు ఒక్క ఫైట్ కూడా ఓడిపోలేదు.
మీ యుద్ధం మళ్ళీ మొదలైనట్టుంది.
ఇది కూడా ఓడిపోను.
ఇంకా తొలి ఊపిరి కూడా తీసుకొని ఈ బిడ్డ కోసం ఇంకెంతమంది చనిపోవాలి?
భయపడకు, మరో ప్రపంచం వస్తుంది.
Ouvrez-moi, pour l'amour du ciel. J'ai été attaqué par des brigands.
Nous n'ouvrons cette porte à personne. Empruntez le sentier vers l'ouest. Vous rencontrerez la demeure du vieux Gorchin.
Que faites-vous?
Et la danse.
C'est ridicule. Arrêtez.
Mes enfants, je pars. Attendez-moi 6 jours. Mais si jamais, ce dont Dieu vous garde, je revenais après ces 6 jours révolus. Je vous ordonne d'oublier que j'étais votre père et de ne point me laisser entrer. Car alors, je ne serai plus qu'un maudit Vourdalak.
Qu'est-ce qu'un Vourdalak?
C'est une charogne infâme, revenue parmi nous dans l'unique but de sucer notre sang.
Un Vourdalak ne s'attaque pas à n'importe qui, monsieur. Il se délecte particulièrement du sang de ses parents proches et des êtres qui lui sont les plus chers.
Tout allait bien ici avant votre arrivée. C'est vous, étrangers, qui avez porté le malheur sur notre famille.
Si un père n'est pas tout pour ses enfants, il n'est rien.
The Conqueror has been called one of the worst films of the 1950s, if not of all time.
I could describe The Conqueror in one word.
Unfortunate.
Ridiculous.
I thought it was, not good.
Let there be music and a feast, befitting Temujin, chief of the Mongols.
You know, my dad playing Genghis Khan, are you serious?
I remember watching it and just thinking, this is the cheesiest movie I've ever seen.
I feel this Tartar woman is for me. My blood says take her.
Almost a year before they filmed The Conqueror, they had set off Dirty Harry, one of the largest nuclear bombs that had ever been detonated on land.
There was so much propaganda that we were safe and they wouldn't do anything to harm us.
Living in St. George in the 50s and 60s was magical.
The residue from this morning's atomic detonation is drifting in the direction of St. George.
Lucky you didn't go on location, because these people are dying that did. That was the word around town.
Of the 220 people who were constantly on location shooting in Utah, 90 or 91 came down with cancer.
He had lost so much weight, he actually wore a complete other suit of clothes underneath it.
Her brain cancer was horrific. It was absolutely horrific.
They actually brought tons of that radioactive soil back to RKO, spread it on the floor of the studio, so they were exposed to it.
Part of the facts of life are fallout.
They knew it wasn't safe.
They slammed the door in our face. It was a cover-up.
They just tried to shut us up.
And it was like being punched in the gut. I'm not going to be silent anymore.
今最も熱く最もイカれたサッカーアニメついに映画化。
みんななんで頑張るんだろう。将来の夢とかめんどくさ。
すげえなお前。俺とサッカーやろう。ナギ、お前の才能を俺にくれ。
めんどくさい。
お前は俺と世界一にならなきゃいけない。そういう運命だ。
おめでとう、才能の原石どもよ。299名を蹴散らして最後に残る一人は世界一のストライカーになれる。
始めようか。俺の人生は退屈に満ちていた。あいつとブルーロックに出会うまでは。
行け、天才。
レオ、俺やってみる。
Police report that writer Norman Mailer was arrested this morning after a stabbing occurred at a party last night.
Earlier this evening, Norman Mailer was committed to the violent ward of a psychiatric hospital.
Human nature is open-ended. Are we good or are we bad?
Do you think you might go to hell, Norman?
What makes a good writer is that they have opposites in themselves. And those opposites were certainly in me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Norman Mailer.
Mr. Norman Mailer.
Norman Mailer is among the most celebrated authors of the century, and undoubtedly the most controversial.
No other writer compares to the range and rigor of his writing. 30 books over 6 decades, a National Book Award, 2 Pulitzer Prizes, 6 wives, 9 children.
Mailer was known as literature's bad boy.
His confrontational personality defined him as much as his novels.
He became the literary rock and roll star, the outlaw gunslinging writer.
He's fought with the Pentagon,
making a revolution in the consciousness of our time.
Feminists.
In sexuality, camp fair, bad taste.
Boxers both in and out of the ring.
He is a master, America's greatest writer.
If any time needed a Norman Mailer, this time needs a Norman Mailer.
There's a certain passion that is dying in American life, a pervasive distaste for bitter argument, for controversy. People are becoming less and less interested in looking at ugly problems and debating questions that are not quickly answered. A sense of light diminishes in all of us, which I think is the modern disease. You see that we're all becoming duller, more conventional, more unimaginative.
Technology drives us further and further away from our instincts.
And we're flattening out people's spirits. We're surrounded by faces, but everyone is always incredibly alone. When we feel very little anger at anything, we just feel a dull depression. It's very hard to love. It's that nice mixture of love and anger is what we need to come alive.
My name's Mike Rowe, and this is Something to Stand For. A film that celebrates a few extraordinary Americans who risked everything to build the nation we call home. Americans who gave us something to fight for, something to be grateful for. And today, all these years later, something to stand for. I thought I'd take a trip to our nation's capital, not too far from where I grew up, to reacquaint myself with the memorials and monuments built to honor the people in this film. In other words, it's a field trip. And I'm glad you're along for the ride. Assuming the old truck makes it. It's going to be fine.
Théo va venir vivre chez nous. Ça fait un bout de temps que Pierre rêve de se rapprocher de son fils, c'est l'occasion. Bonjour Théo. Qu'est-ce que t'as grandi?
Je vais chercher des clopes, tu m'accompagnes?
Des fois, tu te dis pas que je suis un vieux con?
Jamais.
Théo, lui, me considère comme un vieux con. Hier, il m'a dit que j'avais adopté les filles uniquement pour me donner bonne conscience.
Tu veux une bière? Mais il va falloir d'abord passer par le magnétophone. Il va falloir me raconter ta première fois.
Assieds-toi, j'ai hâte de parler. J'ai eu des vrais échanges avec Théo. Il m'a dit que vous deux, que tu as eu une liaison avec mon fils.
Tu vas pas me dire que tu l'as cru une seconde.
Je sais plus qui croire.
Ne me touche pas. Ton fils est un monstre. Mets-toi bien ça dans la tête. Il veut que tu me rejettes pour t'avoir pour lui tout seul.
On est une famille. On doit pouvoir se faire confiance.
וראש הממשלה לא מוכן לוותר על הגופה של אייכמן.
הנאצי לא עוזב את הכלא לפני שהוא הופך לאפר ועפר.
ראית את הסכמות? זה החברה שבנתה את הקרמיטורים באושוויץ.
יאללה, לתחום!
אתה לא רוצה להיות חלק מההיסטוריה?
שתלך לעזאזל ההיסטוריה.